They're off in the Romanised Minstrel Stakes. It's a Group 2 over 7 furlongs, fielding 10 runners. Over the far side, it is California Dreamer just showing up in front. From Mutasarif, prominent, is Diego Velazquez in the purple and white, followed by Easy, Big Gossie, East Hampton, Room Service next, and then Chicago Critic. Queen of Thunder and Lord Masseuses is the back marker by 2.5 lengths. Inside the 5 they come. It is California Dreamer and Wayne Lorden. Just holding sway over Diego Velazquez and Ryan Moore. On the inside, Mutasarif and Gary Carroll just third from Easy and Andy Slattery, followed towards halfway by Room Service and Tom Eves, edging a little bit closer than East Hampton, Chicago Critic, Big Gossie, Queen of Thunder and Lord Masseuses. Little changes, 3 furlongs to go in the Group 2 Romanised Minstrel Stakes, and it is California Dreamer. Now being stoked up as Diego Velazquez, then Easy, Mutasarif, Chicago Creek next, and then East Hampton. And down the outside, picking up is Queen of Thunder. Furlong and a half left to go. California Dreamer just headed one off the rail by Diego Velazquez. After them is East Hampton, then Queen of Thunder. Mutasarif is next. Less than 200 yards to go. It is Diego Velazquez challenged late by East Hampton. They're going to the line neck and neck. Diego Velazquez has held off East Hampton, is close for the third. Another Oaks weekend winner for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien.
Who are we to doubt Aidan O'Brien, the master of Ballydial? Diego Velazquez, we thought the trip was going to be a bit in the sharp side for him, although he had won over this trip back as a 2-year-old. And he's landed our feature event. Double on the card for Ryan Moore and Team Ballydial.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly for him, didn't it? Broke nicely. Chicago Critic stall 8, jumped in the air before the gate and then bounced out off Lord Masseuses, shoved him backwards and raced a bit keenly himself. But you kind of thought it halfway. The way the race was panning out, Ryan got into where we thought he would be forward on it, and he was just going to start building this race when he passed the 4 onto the junction and keep lengthening, and unless something shot by him, they weren't going to get by him. Easy ran a bit keen in the green colours of Team Valor's. Room Service moves up on the outside but ran no race whatsoever.
One of the first beat, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the first ones beat. California Dreamers rocking along in front. Mutasarif doesn't get the clearest of runs around about the somewhere between the 3 and the 2, and I'd say David Marnane would be delighted with his runner, East Hampton, who's running an absolute cracker.
Run some race.
The green colours.
He'd 17 pounds to find with the winner.
He had, and Lord Masseuses has come from the back to finish third. Ken Condon's
Queen of Thunder.
filly Queen of Thunder, she's shaped well. She's been lightly raced, but I'm sure he'd be delighted with her. But you can see from here, Ryan just starts to sit down on the Diego Velazquez, start to lengthen, and if you got by him, you're going to have to either zoom by him, but you weren't going to outstay him.
Definitely not. Third home was Mutasarif. He's run a cracker as well, to be fair to Gary Carroll. Just had
locked up.
Break stride, didn't he? Waiting for the gap to open.
He did, and it didn't open for him. As East Hampton gets down on his outside, and he probably never got really any daylight to run into Mutasarif, but Diego Velazquez has just ground it out. 7 is as short as he'd wanted, Kevin, but he's got the job done, and it'll be onwards and upwards to a mile from here, I'd say. You can watch the overhead here, you can see where Gary Carroll, I mean, he hasn't got a propeller, he can't fly over the horse in front of him. He hasn't the gears to get into the gap between Diego Velazquez and California Dreamer there, and you can see Ryan rolls back in a little bit. Maybe could Gary Carroll go in there? Just because the head fit doesn't mean the body will. No, it closes in front of him now. No, there's room there. It does definitely close. But it was always going to close, wasn't it? And there again, maybe he could get through. But look, I think Mutasarif has run a solid race, but Diego Velazquez has just sawed out the best, hasn't he?
He has indeed.
Big Gossie's run well, so has Lord Masseuses.
Finished back in 5th, Lord Masseuses. Both of those quick turnarounds. Lord Masseuses, of course, last to 4 behind Snellen and Stakes Company the other evening at Leopardstown, and Big Gossie 12th in the Scurries yesterday.
Yeah, incredible horse, isn't he? How he keeps pulling out. California Dreamer had a good run through the race, Kevin, but faded. Maybe she does want to go back to a mile.
There is our winner. It's been some weekend for Team Ballydial, and they've landed another feature event. The Romanised Minstrel Stakes goes the way of Diego Velazquez, his 5th win of his career, his 2nd over the trip, and only his 2nd ever visit to the headquarters of flat racing here in Ireland, the Curragh.
Diego Velazquez drops down 7 furlongs here today to win the Romanised Minstrel Stakes in really good style. Ryan, well done.
Yeah, no, thanks, Fran. He's obviously had his tough comeback run. Didn't work out for him, and he stepped down to 7 today, which is probably his minimum trip really, but he showed a very good attitude and he's a lovely horse really.
Getting him in that forward position initially, dropping down a trip was probably key to getting him home.
Yeah, look, he's an uncomplicated horse. He can kind of be ridden anyway, but there wasn't by the filly there wasn't much of a pace, so he's uncomplicated and he tries hard.
More improvement to come off this?
Yeah, I'd like to think he'd come forward again, but look, he's won a couple of Group 2s and I've always thought a lot of him. I think he's a good horse and couldn't have a better attitude, so delighted with him.
Well done again.
Thanks, Frank.
How are you, alright? Really good performance in the Romanised Minstrel Stakes by Diego Velazquez, who dropped down 7 furlongs here today to gain another Group 2 win, of course, at a mile at Leopardstown last year. Aidan, well done. Good to see him back in top form.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're delighted with him, Fran. Obviously, up to now has been a bit of a mess this year. We went to Leopardstown to start him off to give him a run for Ascot, and it went wrong, and he got upset in the stalls and had to be withdrawn. And then because of that, I probably wasn't confident enough to tell Ryan to ride him good and forward in the mile race, the Queen Anne, and then Ryan gave him a chance and they hacked the first half of the race, so really it was over straight away after a couple of furlongs. And then obviously we had to come back, and we had it in our head that he could be a Sussex or a Jack Lamar horse and all that. So when all that went wrong, we had to try to get back on track somewhere. This is a lovely race. It's 7 furlongs, maybe a little bit tight for him. It ground a little bit easy for him, but he was in good place. Yeah, so Curragh been riding him out, Dean's been riding him in his work, and Andrew obviously in charge of him, and Edmonton. They've all been very happy with him. So it was great to get him back. Ryan gave him a very good ride. He's very genuine. Probably he'd be very comfortable back up to a mile and then 9 and maybe 10 furlongs. So we can see whether he goes to a Sussex or whether he goes to a Jack Lamar, and then at the end of the year he could go back up and trip again, you know. So he's a lovely horse, very honest. Brave, yeah, so all the things, and he's loads of experience now as well. So he's a horse that's hopefully could finish off very well.
Looking at him through the race, I never felt like he was going to get beat. Did you feel that, unless something got by him very quickly?
No, you're 100%. You obviously knew the horse well, Fran. He doesn't. He knuckles down very, very well. He's a very good mover. He gallops with his head very low. He's very genuine, and it's like what you said. Unless someone was going to go by him very quick, they were going to find it hard. And Ryan was after letting him use his stride the whole way, so he wasn't after hanging around on him, you know. So it was going to be hard for someone to go by him quick. And like you said, when he was joined, he kept finding plenty. But Ryan gave him a very good ride, obviously.
Great to see him back in the winners' enclosure. And Aidan, looking ahead to next weekend, King George at Ascot is upcoming, and you've got a couple left in it, notably, of course, Jan Bruegel and the Irish Derby and Epsom Derby winner Lambourne. Yeah,
absolutely. Jan Bruegel, everything is went very well with him. Andrew's very happy with him. Shane rides him out, and Dean rides him work. They've all been very happy with him. Edmonds and yeah, everyone around him are. Yeah, Derek and Donald, sorry, should I say. So, Michael, everyone has been very happy with Rory. So the plan with him is to go there. He'll have something happen early in the week this week, and if that goes well, then that's the plan where he'll go. And then obviously that's Jan Bruegel we're talking about, and then Lambourne. He's kind of been waiting a little bit in the wings. I wasn't sure whether the lads were going to let him run with him or not. It's definitely possible, but I would say probably more not than go, I'd say, at the moment. And if everyone is happy with the other horse and the lads are happy with the other horse, he might go with continuous and maybe wait with the 3-year-old, and he might have a little rest and maybe go to York or somewhere like that. So
that's Voltager like Los Angeles did last year, perhaps? Or?
Yeah, I think so. And the Voltager works well, because when you're running the Voltager, then you have a choice. You can where you go after that. You don't have to go to the Ledger, but he's prepared for the Ledger if that's what the lads decide to do with him, you know. So yeah, I think that's the way everyone is thinking at the moment.
Great stuff. Listen, thanks for the update. Well done again there.
Pleasure, Fran. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.